What is up, everyone? OJ over here from Player Essence, and welcome to another video. Today we have some awesome information for you guys, but before we get into that, let's see if we can hit 500 likes for this video. Now with that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump right in. And we are starting off with Square Enix. The business division number 8 is developing a PS4 and Nintendo Switch action RPG. Square Enix is seeking a project assistant for this new game that they're creating. So Square Enix Business Division 8, the studio behind games such as Secret of Mana Remake for the PlayStation 4, PS Vita, and PC, and Final Fantasy Brave Exvius for smartphones, and Imperial Saga for browsers, is seeking a project assistant for work on an action RPG for the PlayStation 4 and the Nintendo Switch, according to the Tenshoku Navi job listing. Now, the job does not provide any further information on it, when the game is going to release, if it's going to be on other platforms, release dates, or anything like that. There's nothing else. They're just looking for a project assistant for a brand new action RPG on the PlayStation 4 and the Nintendo Switch. So this is interesting because this is the same division like we've talked about, and it was much kind of lauded on here about the Secret of Mana Remake. There was a lot of controversy swirling around that game, how it didn't come to Nintendo Switch despite originally being on the Super Nintendo with the original Secret of Mana, and of course on the Super Nintendo Classic with Secret of Mana as well. So it doesn't seem like they're doing some type of port or some type of better version of that game. It seems like they're doing something completely new, and that kind of puts into question whether the Secret of Mana Remake will ever come to Nintendo Switch or not. But that could be handled by somebody else, or just be handled by a different part of the team, or whatever the case is. So we're not sure about that one. But what could this action RPG be? What could they be developing? But based on them alone with this whole division, there's already people saying, you know what, I'm not interested anymore, just because the Final Fantasy game that they made, not necessarily the best for smartphones, and then on top of that, the Secret of Mana Remake, that necessarily wasn't the best either. But I also feel those were also elements of this division not really getting much money in terms of them making a game. I think that they get probably low budgets, but maybe this one's going to be a little bit more because it's Nintendo Switch and the PS4. So we're gonna have to wait and see what this ultimately ends up becoming. I don't know if it's going to be like a brand new Secret of Mana, or maybe it can be a brand new game from one of their older IPs when it comes to, like, let's just say like The World Ends With You. Maybe it's a sequel to The World Ends With You, or maybe it's something in that line. We just don't know what they're going to do, but I am a little bit worried just because of the developer that it is and what Square Enix is going to give them. We do know that this is not the same division that is actually dedicated to the Nintendo Switch, because this is outside of that. They have Square Enix, that is, they actually made a brand new division that was dedicated to Switch, that's going to focus on games for that system. So maybe we'll see more ambitious things out of them, but this developer definitely seems like it's not quite up to the levels we'll see with other Square Enix IPs, which makes sense. A lot of developers have different tiers in terms of developers and development budgets and how many people are working for them, but we'll have to wait and see. I think that it's good that Square Enix is starting to include them along with PlayStation 4 when it comes to development, even though we've already seen that quite a bit. Stuff like I Am Setsuna, also stuff like Lost Sphere as well coming to Nintendo Switch, and other games too, Dragon Quest Builders 2, Dragon Quest Builders 1 as well. So we'll see what happens going forward, and overall I'm just excited to see more games come to Nintendo Switch, especially action RPGs. Let's see what Square Enix has for us when it comes to this Switch and PS4 game, and let's see what Division 8 can do. Hopefully they can redeem themselves after the less than stellar Secret of Mana Remake. It was an okay game, but I think everybody can see that they can do better than what they did there. So what do you guys think about Division 8 developing a brand new PS4 and Nintendo Switch action RPG? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Alright, and moving into the next topic here, The World Ends With You final remix details, new elements, story, characters, and a lot more. Plenty of awesome screenshots of the enhanced Nintendo Switch port coming into you guys, and this is fantastic because I absolutely love The World Ends With You, but there were a lot of things that I didn't like it being on the DS, and I did not play it on smartphones. So the Nintendo Switch version, I'm so glad I waited, because this is pretty much the final and best version of the game. I'm pretty sure it will be at the end of the day. So let's go ahead and get into some more of these details here. So Square Enix has released new information and screenshots of The World Ends With You final remix, its upcoming enhanced Nintendo Switch version of the 2007 released DS action RPG, although I do feel that this is going to be more based off of the smartphone game, which was in HD, and them enhancing that along with some elements from the DS as well. So let's go ahead and get into the new elements of Final Remix. So The World Ends With You Final Remix adds a new scenario, background music, and more to the 2007 released DS action RPG, which was critically acclaimed worldwide. And I remember back when it came out, it was the most unique thing on the Nintendo DS, especially from Square Enix. It was pretty crazy. So we also have HD resolution graphics, Beautiful graphics through HD resolution support, characters, scenery, and more have been reconstructed and renewed as highly detailed visuals. You can choose your own playstyle, play The World Ends With You in TV mode, tabletop mode, or handheld mode. Handheld mode, control the game with the same touch controls as a DS version. In battle, you can enjoy intuitive controls such as slashing noise, tapping spaces, and more. In TV mode and tabletop mode, control the game with a pointer using the Joy-Cons. 2-player co-op battles with 1 Joy-Con per player is also possible. They also added in high-quality background music, sound effects, and voices. In addition to making all background music, sound effects, and voices high quality, new songs and arrangements by composer Takaharu Ishimoto have been added, allowing players to enjoy various sounds. Players can switch between the original and arranged versions of the background music via the in-game menu. In addition to switching between music, you can also change the battle difficulty in the main menu. They also added a brand new scenario. New Reapers get to the core of a story that has yet to be told. New noise have been added to complement the new scenario as well. And there's a ton of screenshots. There's also a summary and just a brief kind of description of each of the characters. Check out the link in the description below. And this is all great news, guys. The World Ends With You final remix is going to be absolutely fantastic. If you've never played the game before, follow Neku and team as they kind of go through Shibuya in this modern action RPG. It's just amazing with all the different stuff that you can customize and get, and clothing, and how each character plays very differently. Just because you have one character and how that system works with them doesn't mean the next character that you get is going to be the exact same, because they all have different powers in terms of what they can do and their unique elements in terms of their teams of 2 that you play in. So this is all amazing to see. I like the high quality voice work. I like the high quality visuals that they're implementing into this version of the game, and the new scenario is probably one of the best things because it's completely new content that wasn't in there before. So if you've played The World Ends With You, at least this one might be something that you want to look at, just because there is new content in there on top of everything that they're redoing. I think, heck, just the game looking itself, if you never played the smartphone version, which many people didn't, if you just played the Nintendo DS version of the game, this is definitely worth it based on all the cool stuff that they're adding, new music as well. And for those who don't know, The World Ends With You has some of the best music ever in a game. Seriously, it's awesome. So the fact that they're adding in new music and rearranging the old tracks is really cool. It's gonna sound good on the Nintendo Switch. So looking forward to streaming this one for you guys when it launches. It's coming out this September in Japan. We'll see what the release date is for the rest of the world, but I think it's gonna be close to that time period. So what do you guys think about The World Ends With You final remix for the Nintendo Switch? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, and moving into the next topic here, we have a little bit of some confusion in terms of FuRyu, which they recently said that they're temporarily suspending their games business, but then they actually put out an update saying, oh, well, we're not suspending all of it. Basically, we're just kind of doing some things and rearranging some things, but we're still going to be investing into the games that we already have out. So let's talk about some of this stuff here, because this is very confusing. So FuRyu, the studio behind The Legend of Legacy, The Caligula Effect, The Alliance Alive, and the upcoming Crystar, will temporarily suspend its game business outside of the titles it has already invested in. FuRyu President and CEO Takashi Mishima said in the company's latest shareholder report, quote, "In our games business, we strive to monetize the sector through mixed media development," Mishima said. "However, we are struggling to recover our heavily invested video games business, and growth in the main business was also sluggish, which led to a major disparity from the overall initial plan." Now, he also said a little bit more about just basically investment in game development will be temporarily suspended as we maximize their focus on monetization and other titles. Now, they also put out an update as well, so here's what FuRyu had to say in that. The statement was being clarified. Quote, "Investment in game development will be temporarily suspended, and we will maximize our focus on the monetization of the titles that we have already invested in." Here's the clarification of that statement, guys. So what we were describing in regards to the smartphone games within our games business. While we have been releasing several titles each year, we temporarily suspended the development of new titles in the fiscal year ended March 31st, 2019. With that in mind, please take note of the following information. For console games, we will continue to plan, develop, and sell games in the same way we have been during and after the fiscal year ended March 31st, 2019. For smartphone games, we do not have any release plans for new titles during and after the fiscal year ended March 31st, 2019, and we'll focus on maximizing the revenue of the titles that are currently available. So there you go. They're not suspending it and essentially saying no more games from FuRyu. We're not going to be doing any more, and we're suspending it, and till further notice. They're saying, hey, we're still gonna have more games that we're gonna plan and develop, so don't expect this to just go away. We're just kind of not doing stuff with the smartphones and trying to maximize games that we already have out. So there was a clarification there, because a lot of people got worried, because there are some pretty cool games. They have some titles coming out for the Nintendo Switch and the PlayStation 4 this year. They have Work Across Work, which is a Switch game. They also have Crystar, like we talked about, which looks like a pretty cool action RPG. Still need to talk about that game a little bit more. Beyblade Burst as well coming to Nintendo Switch, and Project One Room, which is a tentative title for the PlayStation 4 as well. So they already have some stuff that are coming out, and people are kind of worried about that, but don't worry. According to them, they're still going to be planning and developing games after that fiscal year. It's just the smartphone divisions, and they're going to invest into what they already have when it comes to that. So there you go with that one, guys. So what do you guys think about FuRyu in addition to The World Ends With You, and also Square Enix and their brand new action RPG for PS4 and Nintendo Switch? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, Ninja, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below. We got Facebook and Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on our social media. Really helps us spread the content of Player Essence across the internet in addition to YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our Patreon, Twitch, and YouTube live gaming page, and consider supporting Player Essence. When you do so, it gets you access to all sorts of cool benefits, perks, rewards, and emotes via YouTube sponsorship. So check out the link in the description below, and consider supporting Player Essence right here on YouTube. Hit that like button if you did like this video. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to Player Essence for the latest RPG, Japanese, and Nintendo gaming news. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you, Ninja, for the next video. Peace.